A little less than 2 years ago, I tried the demo for a game that is called Travel Knight Adventure. Now, surprisingly, the game is still in development. It's not out yet. But the nice thing is that the demo keeps getting more and more updates, and by this point this is basically a free game to try out on Steam, so I tried it again. First, we'll explain what this game even is, then we'll go on to why I liked this game, and then finally we'll end this with what things need to be changed or added in order to make this even more fun. Now, like always, there's going to be chapters below, so you can skip to whatever is relevant to you. So what is Travel Knight Adventure? Well, it's an open, segmented world, meaning that you have smaller maps that you load into, and in those maps you can basically roam free and do whatever you want. Now, to move between the maps, you actually use an overworld icon. From the demo, I only saw like a boat. You travel along like a river, and you can freely move between the points, so you can go back, forward to the same map 15 times if you wish to. Nothing really blocks you. There's no like story progression that blocks you from doing things, at least not things that I saw in the demo. The game doesn't have any like defined goals. There is no, hey, you need to do X. You basically get like a general go to this big city and just do whatever you want. That's how you start the game. Nothing is gonna force you to do this quest though. I personally haven't done like a single main mission. I'm saying main in quotations here because there's nothing that really feels like a main mission, really. All I did was basically explore the map and just uncover all the fun secrets that you can find across this very nice looking world, to be fair. And from what little like side quests I've done, what I saw is they're mostly like kill or fetch quests, nothing that's gonna be like super brain breaking or anything new. As you explore the map, you will meet a few enemies and bosses. Most of them are going to be undead, so zombies and skeletons, but you can also find some bandits, wolves, and rogue golems, and a few more that I really didn't mention. To fight those enemies, you have been given a few options. First of all, you have your Sparta kick, which you can push enemies off ledges and into walls. I wasn't really able to use this kick very much without taking any serious damage, so I didn't use it at all, even after I upgraded the kick to higher levels. It just wasn't really viable. What I did instead is I used the guns as the secondary option, and let me tell you, it was fun. You might start with the crossbow, then you move on to the shotguns and the rifles, and then you end up with like a plasma rifle or a cannon. Those things are pretty cool. They're like genuinely a decent amount of weapons, even if some of them are kind of similar. I haven't really noticed that enemies have like different resistances to them. Most of them die in 1 or 2 shots anyway from any weapon, so I just stuck to whatever weapon I had. And this also works best because you don't always find all the kinds of ammo. You can buy ammo, but it's not all the time, and it's only some kind of ammo, not the other kind of ammo. So basically you kind of use what you have instead of building upon one specific thing. And like it or not, this is what happens. There is also magic and shurikens and potions, and there's a whole skill tree, but I don't want to make like this video into a giant guide. What the bottom line is, I felt like the guns were actually the only viable way to play, with the shuriken being way too scarce in order to use them, and the magic requiring a genuine insane amount of mana. I'm sure as we play the game and as the game progresses and gets closer to 1.0, there's gonna be more balances and more things, so I'm not really that worried, but I'm hopeful that we get to play multiple builds. So why did I even like the game? First of all, the secrets. Right as you start the game, if you like turn around to 180, you look at the bookcase behind you to your right, you will see there is like a gap between the bookcase and the wall. Now if you have a brain, a gamer brain, you immediately notice that, hey, this is weird, where's the button to move this or to open this thing? And the answer is actually the podium stand. After you open the bookcase, there is another sequence where you have to jump to the 2nd floor, but to do so you have to jump on the bed multiple times and then gain some height, then jump onto another bookcase, and only then you can climb to the 2nd floor. It's insane, and it's only the first house. It's not like ultimately well hidden. It's not like insanely hidden that you can't figure this out if you don't have like, I don't know, 300 IQ points. but it's also not extremely obvious. You do need to like look for it. And this is just the first house. There is plenty of more places with secrets, with the puzzles, with rewards all around the game. And I really like this, not just because it's spread all over the game, but because, like I just said a second ago, it's not too difficult, but it's not too easy. You do need to look for this, but it's not gonna like make you cry from frustration. It's kind of in the middle, it's fine. So when a game is developed by an indie studio or a small studio with less experience, or maybe like even a singular developer, there's some quirks and some mistakes that a smaller team makes that a bigger team is just gonna polish this thing out. But in these kind of small games, it actually gives like character and like funny things to see, which actually makes the game, well, more unique than other bigger games would be if you just made this into a spreadsheet. Let me actually give you a few examples. So example number one, whenever you walk backwards, if you look at your feet, you see that your feet are actually doing like a 180 instead of simply walking backwards, which is kind of funny. Like you don't really get to walk backwards, you just like split, I don't know, spin your legs wherever they need to go to. Funny. Thing number two is spelling errors. This one I'm not 100% sure if it's intentional or not, because in some places it seems like it is, in some places it seems like it's not. Like there is mana with double N's or potions with double T. There's like a lot of those like small things. There's like the forest with the Y. It's supposed to be the, and it says ye forest. I don't know if it's intentional to make this like give it character or something, but it's kind of funny and I like it. And then finally, what I also really like, and it's less of a small thing, it's the graphics and the UI. The graphics themselves, I'm not like 100% on, but I never really like the 2D like 2D and a half thing where it's like sprites moving across your screen, but it's like 3D-ish. I never really like those, but I don't know, it looks nice in this one. When you also take into account like the cartoonish UI that they have, I don't know, I like it. I think it gives this game more character, and I think giving this game like a Minecraft UI with more squarish things and more robust, like very blocky UI, I don't think it would have worked the same thing. There is some things I would love to see more popped out, but I don't know, I really like it. Okay, so let's go do a fast round of things that I think need to be changed or to be added. We're just gonna go fast, not too much explanation. If you don't get it, ask me, I might answer in the comments. Ready? Let's go. First thing, footsteps. For some reason, they sound like they're behind you, like somebody's behind you all the time instead of coming from your feet. It's the same thing for enemies. Number two, headshots don't really exist in the game. If you actually give us headshots, I think it would give different weapons more opportunities and make different weapons more interesting. Number three, I haven't found a way to respec any skills. If there is an option, please make it clear. If there isn't, add it, please. It would be better, I think. Number four, dark rooms are way too dark, and using torches to light around really doesn't help much, especially because you constantly have to switch between your torch and your weapon. Really not fun. So I don't know what, but there needs to be more light inside caverns and crypts. Five, we need a minimap, because like I said previously, the dark rooms really are like becoming a maze. Once you start to get into like big places, things just become chaotic. There's so many things. I would also love like a big map, like overworld map, but if you don't want to give this, then it's fine. Just give us a mini map, please. Number six, I'm not a big fan of the music. Like, it's nice, it's unique, but it's not something I wish to listen to for hours and hours and hours. It just seems like a cacophony of like weird sounds. Number seven, you need to make the bosses harder. They're way too easy. I don't even get to see their mechanics and they're already dead. And I'm not like a pro at this game or something. You worked hard for this game, right? So we do want to see your bosses more. So make them a little bit harder. Number eight, final thing, is bug fixes. There's a decent amount of bug fixes that needs to be done in this game. I'm just gonna mention like one thing. Obviously on the way to 1.0 there's gonna be a lot of updates. The thing I encountered like a lot is getting stuck in like the terrain. One thing that happened to me consistently is when I go to, I think, the forest, in a place called, I think, the Grave maybe. You go into a crypt basically, and every time I spawned in there, I immediately spawned inside of the steps instead of on the steps, or I don't know, after the steps. And I tried to do this multiple times. Every single time I spawned in the steps, and I had to re-roll my save basically. So would I say you should play this game? Yeah, Why not? I mean, it's free, right? And I'm just gonna say that you should check this out. If you like it, nice. If you don't like it, no big deal. You just wasted like an hour or something. Good luck to the developers. I'm gonna check in the future to see like the full game and how the project is progressing, because I do like what I'm seeing here. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, thank you. If you didn't, let me know why, so I can improve it. And keep safe and see you next one. Bye bye.